Kia ora everyone and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host Mucky Hope and I'm so excited to finally share with you the deep dive with none other than the man dog himself, Jonti Crisp. We're going to be talking about all the highs and lows of his game in Squid Game The Challenge Season 2 and even some cheeky dramatic moments that he was a part of as well. But unfortunately this interview was recorded a couple weeks ago. While I was in Auckland, he was in Bali and the Wi-Fi connection was really bad, so there was actually a strong audio delay between me asking a question and him answering it and then me hearing his answer and stuff. So I've done my very best editing, which I hate to brag, but I did go to a film school to get rid of all the different audio delays. So it should be spick span, perfect, willy-nilly clean. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy the interview. If it does seem like it's a little bit jumping all over the place and a little bit too cutty, that's exactly the reason why. But other than that, I hope you really enjoy the podcast. Sit back, relax, grab a cheeky chalky milk. I'm actually really jealous. I actually really want a chocolate milk right now. So let me know what chalky milk you're drinking. And I hope you enjoyed the deep dive with none other than Jonti himself. Ka kite anō everyone, and I'll catch you in the deep dive. Have fun! Tēnā koutou katoa everyone, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host Mucky Hope, and tonight is a crazy night. It's a special night. I kind of feel like this almost been 2 years in the making, a year in the making since $1 Million Island. I still remember this handsome, lovely man in our live chats, during the amazing show of $1 Million Island. We couldn't get any interviews, and I kid you not, I was chatting with Kahuna about Squid Game The Challenge, and we weren't really thinking of doing weekly recaps, maybe just like an overall, I guess just what our thoughts were on the show. But once I saw this handsome man on the cast, I was like, no, screw that. We are doing weekly recaps. Everyone, please welcome. It's amazing. It's a wonderful Jonti. How's it going, brother?
Yes, sir. What's good, my boy? I'm doing good right now, man. I'm in Bali. I'm loving life.
Yeah. Now, how has life been since Squid Game? I think the finale aired 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. What sort of life, I guess, post Squid Game been like for you?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Definitely seeing a lot of attention online, a lot of love over social media. It's been insane. And I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah, I bet, brother. I guess a huge question is obviously $1 Million Island was, I guess, kind of similar to Squid Game, where instead of 456 people, it's 100 people. And I'd love to know, did that ever affect going into Squid Game? Because obviously screen time, with $1 Million Island was hard to get, right? So was that maybe on your mind with how you tried to play, I guess, each game or each twist? Do you just want to try scrape as much screen time as possible?
I'm going to be completely honest. Yes, it did. So I know that a big thing for me was this is such a massive show. This is a ginormous platform. And with 456 people, I know it was very easy to get shown in the background. So I really wanted to go there. Obviously, I wanted to give myself every opportunity I could to actually try and win this prize. But I also knew that if I got the chance, try and get as much screen time as I can. So I went there knowing that I've got a great personality. So I really just went there being myself. But there was definitely times where I thought I'll try ham things up, or I'll try to take some risks, put myself out there a bit.
I mean, bro, I think it's just a cheeky Aussie accent, were you maybe the only Aussie, I guess, Southern Hemisphere person on the show?
So yeah, there was about 6 of us Aussies and one bloke from New Zealand, which in a game of 456 is not much at all. But a bunch of the Aussies got out early or kind of didn't get much screen time, and then our Kiwi boy got out very early as well.
Oh, dang. Our New Zealand pride out so early. We can't have that. I'm so sick of all this anti-New Zealand and Australian casting, We've got to get more of us out there.
I know, right? I mean, we're an awesome country. We've got awesome accents, so...
Yeah, what is it? Was it the Australian accent that was voted as most sexiest accent of all time?
Yeah, it was, and like I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing with them. I'm not disagreeing with them.
What was your, I guess, history with Squid Game? Have you always been like a fan of the show? Like, is this something that you've always kind of wanted to do? I guess go on a reality TV version of Squid Game.
Yeah, I was a massive fan of the drama. So the first season of the
Mm.
drama, I watched it. I loved it. I've watched all three seasons of the drama. When I saw the reality version of it, I thought that was unreal. Funny story, actually. So, the first season of the Squid Game drama was casting at the same time as Million Dollar Island was. And I remember seeing
Oh,
both of them, and I thought, there's no chance I would ever get on Squid Game. I'm going to apply for Million Dollar Island instead.
okay. And like, you got the best of both worlds, right? You got $1 Million Island and you got Squid Game as well. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, it worked
Um,
out well, didn't it?
what's one thing from $1 Million Island that helped, like, I guess, prepare you for Squid Game?
Yeah, you know what? It was a fair bit actually. Um, there's a few things. So I think in general, probably the biggest thing is for anyone who's ever done a reality show, you'll know that there's a lot of things that happens off camera you don't really see. So you'll go to a hotel before shooting. That's where you do a lot of.
Mm.
They'll take your phone off you. You're in quarantine. You do photo shoots, interviews, the whole application process. So having to do like auditions and medical checks and background checks,
Yeah.
even to there'll be times where one of the games in Squid Game, if you take Catch for example, that was on screen that took about half an hour, but in reality, Catch took about 6 to 8 hours to film, and it was the same with
Oh
Million
my
Dollar
God.
Island. Like, so that was definitely
Mm.
something I kind of went into Squid Game, mm, something I definitely knew how to expect. But I also think with Million Dollar Island, I kind of watched the people who would get a lot of screen time and see kind of the roles they played and what they did, and I kind of took that knowledge into Squid Game, knowing that like, if I want to put myself out there, these are the things I have to do.
Yo. And I mean, I guess I'd love to start right on into it. So straight away, you're cut right on down the middle. You cut into two halves, and it's the count. And right here, you have a chance where potentially you
Mm.
could be going home straight off the bat if your group doesn't count to like 456. You weren't a part of the musicians like counting. Like, I guess what was your sort of role, and like, I guess like with all that going down.
Yeah, it was intense. Obviously, we have no idea what's happening.
Mm,
We have no idea what to expect. So, when they kind of tell us that, the plan is we have these musicians, they're going to count for us. There's 228 people in this room. They're all
mm,
crashing out. They're all like, "Oh,
yeah,
I want to do it this way. I want to do it that way. I want to do it this way."
yeah,
Even myself, I was like, I don't know if I fully trust these blokes I've never met before. But I kind of realized like, if everyone's yelling, if everyone's trying to butt in, if everyone's trying to do it themselves, that's never going to work.
mm,
The best way would to be just have faith in each other. So, and that's where there's a good scene there where I'd get up and yelled at everyone to like kind of shut up. And
yeah,
that was not me trying to get screen time. That was a genuine moment of, I'd flown so long to be here. It's a long flight out to London. I did not want to go home within 2 hours of getting on set. I needed everyone to shut up and have faith because that's exactly what I was wanting to do.
yeah. No, I mean, it's a fellow crash out, if you ask me, right? So I flew so many hours to get here. Shut up, we're doing this. I think that's a pretty valid crash out, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I guess after the count, right, we obviously see the twist with the twin brothers. They're trying to like find three people to eliminate. Like you're, sort of suspecting that something was off there. I guess what was your sort of relationship with the twin brothers like?
It's funny. So, it's not shown. I got along very well with the twins. So obviously at first, the first day or two, I barely got to see him much, because there's just a lot of people in the dorm. And obviously, when Rail come back in, like, there was a few of us who were a bit sus, myself included. But as the days went on, I really built a close relationship with these boys. Like, we're the same
Mm,
age. We got like a very similar sense of humor. I've got a lot of respect for these boys. They're ginormous on TikTok, and they would never mention that they do TikTok unless you asked them like what they do. So they're very
Mm.
humble. They're just good blokes, and I do wish that our like friendship was shown a bit more, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was life like inside of the dormitory? Because obviously we only see the highlights, the very like huge dramatic moments and tension between all the players. But what was life actually like inside the dorms?
Um, yeah, it was fun. I enjoy it. I loved every second of it. I know a lot of people didn't. Um, but it was fun. You'd eat small meals. You don't have your phone. You don't know what time it is. You have what, like hundreds of people you've never met, and you're all in this big dorm. And really, all you have to do to pass the time, other than when you're playing a game, is to just chat to people. So that's really what you're doing. You're just chatting. You're meeting people. Um, I love every second of it. I know people don't, but that's really like what I like doing. It was the same with $1 Million Island.
Mm.
You're put on this island with these people you don't know, and you're just building friendships. Like it's awesome.
Yeah. Were there any like because throughout the show we keep on saying, "Oh, I'm aligned with this person or that person," but did like these alliances really matter, or was it just more so like just talking to pass the time?
I think alliances matter to somewhat of a degree. I think the biggest thing is obviously they do twists and little tests where you'll have the
Mm.
opportunity to eliminate someone. So your biggest thing is you don't know when it's going to come up. You don't know who's going to have a chance to eliminate someone. So you really do try and have like you do try and build friendships with everyone in case that comes around, or you do try and have like solid alliances who are going to try and keep you
Mm.
safe.
Yeah. And
Mm.
your very first game is the six-legged race, and unfortunately your group wasn't shown, but I have seen on Instagram that you were one of the fastest for the House of Cards. Was it?
Yes, yes, yes. Look, I don't know for a fact. Obviously, I didn't get
Mm.
to see everyone else do the six-legged race, but yeah, I got it. I got it on the first try, and everyone I've spoken to, like, no one else really got it on the first try. So I'm pretty confident that like I might have been the fastest.
I mean, what was your strategy? Because we saw people trying to use their teeth, they were like trying to bend to try and bend the cards over. Like, what was your strategy with House of Cards? Was it just like you're cool, calm, collected, and you just aced it, or was there like any specific strategy with doing that one?
Yeah, no, bang on. Cool, calm, collected. I just looked at what the House of Cards was meant to look like, and I just got it first try. Like I thought it was quite easy.
Oh, sick. And how was the rest of your group? Because it must be so stressful knowing that if one person like really badly stuffs up, that's your whole game completely cooked. So how was, I guess, competing in that game?
I guess, yeah, in the moment, it's stressful because you're right. Like all it takes is for one person in your group to not get it right, and you all go home, and that's out of your control. So it really was a lot of faith and belief in each other.
Mm.
Um, but we were good. Like we all did amazing in our games. We really stuck together as a team. We had some time to communicate and kind of game plan before we actually did the race. So we all just agreed.
Mm.
Like a lot of us wanted everyone else to be quiet while we did our game.
Yeah, and were you guys always like
Mm.
ahead of the other group as well, or was it quite like neck and neck?
No, we were quite ahead of our other group. I think
Oh,
obviously
sure.
the ball and cups first, and then we got the we got the ball and cup pretty quick. We got the stone throw pretty quick. By the time we got to
Mm.
the Gonji, the throwing stones, I noticed we were ahead. We got the Gonji super quick. I went and did House of Cards. At that point, we're on the very last one, the kicking, the Jengi, the kicking. That one
Yeah.
took us a while, but at that point, they would only just finishing the throwing stone. They just sat down at the
Oh,
Gonji, so I had a feeling that we were
yeah.
sweet.
And I mean, hey, if the other team overtook
Yeah.
you, with being so far behind, I mean, that's kind of on you guys, right? Having such a ginormous lead, if they ever overtook you, yeah, that would have been that would have been pretty
Mm.
cooked. And
Yeah, power to them if they pulled it off.
yeah, and we see straight after it's like the vote, right? So you get the five slowest players. We see Michael, the musician. He's probably like, I guess, the main character out of the five to be up there. And you put on what you call an Oscar-worthy performance. You're crying. You're like, I can't do this to you guys, but you vote to send them home. I guess what's going through your mindset during the vote?
Yeah, it was two things. So they didn't actually announce over the loudspeaker that I had the deciding vote. I did the math in my head and I was
Okay.
like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I there was a lot going through my head on how I wanted
Mm,
to play it. I always knew I was always gonna press X, and as brutal as that might be, I know the musician helped us out a lot. The way I saw it is that ultimately, if you want to win this game, you've got to outlast everyone. This isn't like $1 Million Island where you've got camp members. This is
mm,
every man for themselves. So ultimately, the goal of the game is to outlast everyone. We were also worried that because we don't know what's happening next. We were worried that
yeah.
if we didn't vote out the five slowest, what was going to happen next? Were they going to put up the
Mm,
five fastest? And that might have been me. So definitely the plan for me was always to press X. As for the Oscar worthy performance, I don't know. I kind of thought to myself, how do I want to play this? I knew that I had the
mm,
deciding vote. It was a mix of, it was a strategic play to, I
mm,
knew that at that point, people already had eyes on me. I'm a big, loud, outgoing Aussie dude. So I
mm.
knew that if I could make people feel some sympathy for me, that would kind of help me build relationships. It was also a bit of, hey, here's an opportunity for me to get myself some screen time.
No, fair enough, man. Are you like always voting X in every kind of scenario for that? Like, let's say if you survive catch and they did okay, the five worst players to catch the ball are going up there. Are you always voting to eliminate players, or would you ever try and save someone?
Ooh, I, it's tough. Like, I would think that I would always go for the X, but until someone I was very close with goes up there, I don't know how I'm going to feel.
Mm,
There may be a chance where if there's someone up there I really want in the game, I might have pressed O, but at the end of the day, a large majority of us pressed X for that pentathlon vote. So I would have felt like me pressing O ultimately might not have made much of a difference.
And obviously, we see Viper and Faith are kind of calling you out, for your Oscar-worthy performance. They think you're being super fake. Were other people thinking that you were kind of fake as well, and maybe causing a little bit of tension, or were you pretty like? There's only a couple people who really cares.
Yeah, no, I did amazing. It's funny that they showed like two of the only people who called me out. That's what they showed
Mm,
because a lot of people believed me and I had it. It worked. A lot of people were coming up and feeling sorry for me and apologizing to me and asking me if I was okay. And
yeah.
yeah, it worked great. So I think it's hilarious that two of the only people who didn't fall for it, that's what they showed.
You have the game of catch as well, and you choose not to stand on any of the small circles and the four squares. I guess what's sort of going through your head in that moment about potentially not participating in the game?
Yeah, so obviously, oh god, there was a lot going through my head. We walk in, there's four squares full of dots. Ultimately, again, we have no idea what game it is. A lot of people were saying it might have been the Dalgona, like the cookie,
Oh yeah.
but I had a feeling that was too obvious. In the first season of the drama, they played Battleships as the third game, so I had a feeling it was going to be a game that we hadn't seen before. That was going to be a completely new game.
Mm,
But in that moment, again, I kind of counted the dots. I realized, oh, there's gonna be three people who aren't on a dot. Now originally I was meant to go on the blue team, because almost my whole alliance went into that blue team. But there was maybe like two dots left. I seen these two older ladies kind of, trying to run for it. I thought I'm not the type of person who's going to push over two older ladies. So
yeah.
it's hard to describe. I really just can't. I just had this gut feeling. I just had this inkling that I want to stand in the middle and see what happens.
You choose Viper to be your representative. Were you like close to choosing anyone else to, I guess, represent your life in the game, or were you always just gonna choose Viper?
Yes, no, they cut this out. I spoke about originally I was going to pick Trinity, and there's a good reason I was going to pick Trinity. So, man, Trinity had another alliance that was not shown at all, but um,
Mm.
actually in the count. So originally I was in the O group with Trinity, and I had the same gut feeling. I looked at Trinity and said to him, like, I have a weird feeling that we should go to X. And Trinity looked at me and said, you know what? I got the same feeling. So we both went over to X. And thank God I did, because I
Okay.
would have made it past Cats if not. Yeah. And Trinity
Hmm.
was also in my pentathlon group. So, going into it, I had this weird feeling that, like, me and Trinity have been sticking together this whole time. Maybe I should pick him for catch. And right before I picked him, I kind of freaked out. I said, what if he doesn't get through? Um, I wanted to pick someone that I thought was the safest bet. And to me, I saw Viper as a physical threat, a social threat, a strategic threat. Like, I thought that there was
Hmm.
no chance that Viper could possibly go out in this game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I'd love to hear how was it watching all the drama unfold from that guy throwing the ball so far for Viper to catch it, and then all the drama with Dalton. Like, what was going through your head watching all this happen?
Oh, mate, it was the biggest emotional roller coaster. So, learning to catch game and knowing that Viper's like an athlete, he's
Mm.
like pro level basketball. So I'm thinking awesome. And then we learned the game rules, and then I see that he was standing up the very back, and I thought this is even better. And once the ball starts going down that yellow line, it's getting closer and closer. I start stressing out a little. When Chris decided to throw it to Viper, I was losing it. I thought, no way. Like, I
Yeah.
thought, why would Viper allow this? Um, Obviously, yeah, huge throw. Viper catches it, and you can see I was insanely hyped up. Then obviously, even though that was awesome, Viper then had a very difficult throw. He had to pick one of three lines, and all three of them did not want to throw. Dalton was the closest, and I would have said pick Dalton. And then obviously he's turning his back, and I am losing
Yeah.
it, man. I'll tell you what, I'll be completely honest. Um,
Hmm.
while Viper was picking Dalton and Dalton's turning his back, there's not a lot of footage of me reacting to it. And I can tell you right now, I was crashing out, man. Everything that was coming out of my mouth was not PG friendly. Like, I was very upset with Dalton.
Yeah, but man, like, have you chatted with Dalton at all? I guess, like, post game.
No, I'd never met him in the game until I didn't even know he was in the game till that moment. I haven't seen him or spoken to him afterwards. I don't think he has social media. Um, he's a man of mystery.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, because I would be so petty if that's how I got eliminated, because of Dalton. I'd be like, I'm never gonna like bloody chat with you, bro. Like, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know it was a weird way to go home.
Yeah, but I mean, if you had to go home, talk about screen time, one of the most like dramatic exits, probably Squid Game the challenge history up until this point.
I know, and I am grateful for that. So obviously, you never want to go home in a show like that. It was the same with $1 Million Island. I remember going home and being very upset. But yeah, I guess I do try and stay grateful. I made it so far. I knew I had a lot of awesome camera times. I had a lot of little in-game interviews.
Mm,
And like you said, like, of all the ways for me to go home, there was a lot of moments where, people went home in big groups, and I really had this awesome moment of like, wow, what a big elimination.
yeah. If you were to have survived the game of catch, how far do you reckon you would have gone?
It's hard to say. I broke this down on TikTok the other day, actually. So after catch was the dole test, I probably would have just sat out on that. Having taken a
Yeah.
big risk with catch, I would have just said, leave me out of the dole. I would have run Mingle. Mingle was my game, bro. Mingle was the number one game I wanted to play. There was no chance I was going
Ah,
home during Mingle.
yeah,
Marbles
but
is obviously a 50-50.
to say with Mingle, like, what would be the strategy with Mingle? Just like wait around till you find a group, or something that I've said is that I would have just run to any door, and if people are there, people are there. If they're not, they're not.
Yeah, I feel like I've got a loud voice. I'm a big dude. I'm pretty good at directing people, so I would have had my group, but I also would have been very willing to leave a group and just run to any door. I think Mingle is really just a game of, survival.
How about shoots and ladders? How well do you reckon you would have gone in that?
Oh, I feel like I would have done pretty good in shoot. It's hard to say. I guess shoots and ladders really is a game of chance. It ultimately just comes down
Mm.
to what numbers you roll on a dice. But um, I feel like I would have done good in Mingle. I also had a very good relationship with Perla. That a lot of
Yeah.
people did not see. So, and obviously she was getting a lot of the chance cards. So I feel like I would have been pretty safe through Mingle.
Yeah. And of course, the famous red light, green light. Were you like practicing for like red light, green light or any of like the previous old Korean games before you went out?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Once I knew I was on the show, I practiced red light, green light a lot. I'd go down to a local park at night time, so it was cold, and really just put on like a red light, green light soundtrack on YouTube, put it in like AirPods and practice it. Same, I practiced a lot of Dalgona.
Hmm.
The from the show, you have the red square and the blue square, and you try and slap it so it bounces
Yeah.
up. I practiced that a lot.
Oh, sick, bro. Didn't try like spitting into like, the cookie tin and trying to cut any of the cookies out?
Yeah, I was pretty bad at the cookies, so I'm not gonna lie. The spitting did work for me, but I was really hoping we wouldn't have to play cookies, and I'm so glad we didn't.
Yeah. Any
Yeah,
other games that you were like practicing or hoping would have been on the season?
yeah. I mean, yeah. I practiced the Dalgona. I practiced red light, green light. I practiced
Hmm.
the flipping squares, and obviously none of those ended up happening. Even I would try and practice the throwing stones a little bit. I wasn't good at those, and thank God I didn't actually have to do that.
Well, I mean, I'd love to hear what is next for you, bro. You've done Million Dollar Island, you've done Squid Game. Are there any other shows kind of on your radar?
Yeah, I love doing shows like this, so I'm always down to do
Hmm.
another show. I have no idea what that is now, but
Hmm.
so I would love to do Big Brother. Um,
Okay.
I'm not I'm not against something like, I mean, geez, if Perfect Match wants me, if Love Island is on the cards, I'm not against that. I also think coming off Million Dollar Island, I would love to give Survivor a crack. I think I'd be pretty suited for Survivor.
Yeah. What about the traders? Something that we actually talked about during our first week recap was we reckon you'd be like really good at the game of traders.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that to me, so I've never actually watched The Traders, but I'm guessing I should
Hmm.
watch that because I've
Yeah.
had a lot of people say like I'd be awesome at that.
Yeah, because have you like at least heard of what the game kind of is?
Not really, honestly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Clue, isn't it, or Cluedo?
Not really. So it's kind of more like Mafia or Werewolf. We've got like three killers that kill someone off every night, and you do like missions for like prize pool, and you got to try to figure out who it is. But sometimes the traders can recruit people, and pretty much at the end of the game, if there's one trader still left, they take the entire prize pot for themselves. But if everyone is innocent, then you share the prize pot with each other. So it's very like social, figuring it out, and yeah, it's really great.
Well, you know what? I've loved playing Mafia growing up, and I'm very good at Mafia. So I think you're right. I think I'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Especially with your Oscar worthy performances as well. If you can convince like over 100 people that you're this innocent, sweet guy, I'm sure you'll do great.
Be a lot of Oscar-worthy performances, that's for sure.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, where can people find you, bro? Like, obviously, you're posting a lot on like Instagram and like TikTok. I'll make sure to link those into the description of the podcast as well. But any other platforms that people can find you?
Right now, yeah, it's just Instagram and TikTok. Whether I do a YouTube or not, that's something that I'm not sure yet. But yeah, right now, TikTok's my main one. TikTok, I post a lot of videos on. So I do a lot of behind the
Hmm.
scenes. I do my lives. I do a lot of fun content. And obviously, Instagram, I have started putting up videos. And obviously, I post all my cool photos as well. So Instagram and TikTok are the two best shots for finding me.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, bro, just thank you so much for coming on. It won't look like it in the final product, but like our internets have been like really crazy, constantly like, chipping and chopping and delayed audio. So I really appreciate coming on despite the audio challenges, man. It's been so fun actually finally getting to to chat with you.
No, it's been an honor, mate. Again, I'm sorry about the audio. I guess that's just the being outside of the country thing, but I love doing these, man. So it's an honor to be invited onto this. So it really does.
Yeah, and if you ever want to come on, you're more than welcome to as well, bro. Just hit me up, any show. You're welcome to come on, brother.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah. I mean, if there's a show dropping
Yeah.
that I'd love to talk about, I'll hit your line. Or, I mean, if you see me on another show again, like, you'll get to talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Even if it's Love Island, I will finally, bring myself because I've never seen a single episode of it. But yeah, make sure you do
If
check
I'm
out.
on it, you might have to start watching it.
Oh, I will, bro. It'll be the only season I ever watch. Married at First Sight as well. If you're on there, I'll start watching Married at First Sight. But yeah, make sure you check out Jonti's page on Instagram and TikTok. And coming up here on Mucky Productions, Michelle and I are doing a season ranking of all the Australian survivors. So make sure you check us out every Wednesday night for those. I've been your host, Mucky. Kakita anō, everyone. Yeah, I'll see you all in the next stream. Take it easy, guys. Ciao.